Hey, good morning, everyone. This is Jojo Gonzalez, and just coming off a great weekend. Rest, family, and great church service, man. And this morning, just focusing on the righteousness and the kingdom of Jesus Christ this morning. That's something I just want to get across in this video to you: the righteousness and the kingdom of Christ. Seek those first, seek those things first, and then when you open up the Bible, God's going to speak to you about those things. So He's faithful when you open up the Bible to speak to you. And so this morning, I want to go over Psalm 29. That's where we're at in our study. And it says this. It says, "Ascribe to the Lord, O sons of the mighty." It says, "Give him these things," me and you, the sons and daughters. It says, "Ascribe to the Lord glory and strength." Now, we've talked about God's strength, and we've acknowledged those things in the Psalms. And we've seen how He's our shield, He's our shelter, He's our mighty strong tower. He's those things that when we need protection, we run to and we stand behind, right? And now it's talking about giving Him the glory that belongs to Him, the glory that He deserves. Then it says in verse 2, "Ascribe to the Lord the glory due His name." His name, Yahweh, the great I am. He was and is to come. He's the beginning and the end. He's the Alpha and the Omega. He is worthy of that glory. He's worthy of that praise. He's worthy of those things. And in verse 2 it says, "Worship. Worship the Lord," because He's worthy of those things in the beauty and majesty of His holiness. He is the author. He's the creator. He's the source of all things that are holy and right and just. Then it says this: "The voice of the Lord is upon the waters." Now He's starting to describe that to us. The glory of the Lord, it thunders, right? It shakes. The Lord is over many waters, right? It says the voice of the Lord is powerful. The voice of the Lord is full of majesty. So He's saying, give these things to Him. And now He's worshiping. He's talking to you about, the power, the majesty, and the glory of the Lord. Now He says, the voice of the Lord breaks the cedars. The voice of the Lord breaks the cedars of Lebanon, that powerful thing that could just snap trees in half, right? Then He says, He makes Lebanon skip like a calf, and Sirion, which is Mount Hermon, like a young wild ox. That's how much joy He brings to these places that normally don't have that kind of joy, right? So he makes skip around like a calf, just coming out of the winter, first time on the grass in a long time. Then He says, the voice of the Lord rakes flames of fire like lightning. So it's all power, it's all glory, it's all honor, it's all majesty. Then it says, the voice of the Lord makes the doe labor and give birth and strips the forest bare. Right? So the Lord, He shakes and he strips it bare, and then He gives birth. So whether you're the forest that God is stripping bare, or you're the doe that He's giving life, or you're the wilderness in Kadesh, or whether you're the Lebanon or you're the cedar that God has to break, right? God is still worthy of our glory. No matter what season we're in, He's always the same. So seeking after Him, no matter what season we're in, seeking after His righteousness, seeking after His honor, seeking after His glory, His kingdom, that should come first in our life. No matter where you are in your life, He's still the same. And it says in verse 10, the Lord sat as king at the flood. Yes, the Lord sat as king forever and ever, the beginning and the end. Then it says in verse 11, the Lord will give unyielding, unpenetrable strength to His people, right? Everything that you give the Lord, He takes it, then He gives it right back to you even better. So you give Him your praise, your worship, your whatever you have, He gives it right back to you. Then it says, the Lord will bless His people with peace. Peace. Now, I know we don't see those things right now on the earth, but that's where all these things are going to, man. It's back to the Garden of Eden, back to the garden where it was just us and Him, and we live in harmony and peace before sin entered into the world. We don't see it right now. All we can see right now is just chaos and just people fighting, and sickness and famine and hurt. But the Lord will bless His people with peace. Every time you open up the Bible, God is going to speak to you. And trust me, God is moving you to that peace right now, whether you see it in your season or not. So no matter where you are in your season of life, give God the glory, give God the honor, give God the praise, but also give him your faith, knowing and trusting that in the end, he's going to bring you to that place where you'll have peace. So think about those things today as you go about your day. I know I am, and I will see you again. God bless.